Professor said, this is the Landsman building right across the street. So what I've decided to do is just kind of update the floor plan for what apartments would be used. There's a total of 8 apartments, 7 apartments, 1 coffee shop, a lounge, a fitness center, and an exterior outdoor space. That's kind of mainly because of what the clients wanted, and kind of updating with the code, giving it up to modern day convention standards. Most of these apartments would consist of roughly from 500 to 650 square feet, each being a studio style apartment. And as you can see here, kind of have the view of apartment 1, which is right up here. So you can still see across the street, get that sense. And it's still pretty open, and you can do whatever you want with it, style it. And going into the next apartment, which I would have over there, apartment 2, just kind of follows the progression, nothing too unstable. And continue on, as they wanted to have an exterior green space. So we had that courtyard, which is still here. Didn't really do so much without it, just made it kind of small green space. And this is how it would kind of look towards the exterior during the night. Small athletic center. Any of the apartment residents could go in whenever they wanted, just work out after work, before. A small cafe space. It wasn't really meant to be like more of like an employee or like however residents wanted to treat it as.
Right, just a gathering space, social place. They could create their little gathering spot. Yeah.
Exactly. And if they wanted to afterwards, they could just chill out in the lounge.
Very nice. Okay, there's another concept here. This is Matt Riley. Want to come up, Matt?
Yeah. So this is like Brandon's. It's on that Center Street site on the corner where the Pizza Hut was. My initial idea, instead of 1 apartment building or 2 apartment buildings, is having separate units. So on mine, I have 4 separate buildings that each contain 2 units. An accessible unit that's more of a studio apartment type feel, and then a loft style, which is more like a luxury apartment feel. And I felt that, this kind of works better with what was needed for the site, which is like these luxury apartments that the people working here, that will be coming to work here, would feel more at home in than, renting an apartment, feel more like a home in.
Good concept. I like the vaulted, the ceiling there. That,
It's very modern.
yeah, gives you that. How many buildings do you think you squeeze in that Center Street? Did you build did you design to scale, or did you figure how many you could get there?
I put 4 on there. You
Yeah.
could probably squeeze 5 on, but I put those on there based on the setbacks and all that.
Okay.
You could tighten them in there, but that's probably the most comfortable. That allows the most light in all the buildings too.
Yeah. Very good. There's another Landman building. Who's up? Right here?
So my project also dealt with the Landman building. For mine, I kind of just treated it as a space that to start fresh with. And one thing that we looked at while studying the building was a central outside space in the middle of the building. So my design idea redesigns the circulation through the building around the central green space, and off of there I got 6 apartments in there. 2 of them have bedrooms, the other 4 are studio style. The building also includes a fitness center. This central space would just be a space that the users of the building can come to just relax or go on the phone or whatever they have to do. Inside of the space, I came up with the idea to put a spiral staircase that leads you up to the roof. On the roof, I would add a bunch of solar panels to power these new apartments, and a hot tub up there that you could use at all times of year. So as you can see here, these are some of the renderings of the interior spaces. This is an image of the green space and the fitness center. But I think most of our ideas had about 5 or 6 apartments in them. Part of the program was also the fitness center, and most of us incorporated some type of cafe or green space that can just be used as a central lounge for the project.
That's great. That's great. Over here is another concept. I think this is Doug's Flower Shop. Who's in charge of Doug?
So with this project, the owner kind of had this style that she was going for on the interior. So it was really just kind of conforming to that particular style that she wanted. As far as the building form, for the front facade, I went with kind of a historic facade that would fit into downtown Hornell. And the site was really constrained with existing buildings down the side and the back, and the lot line down the left side. And so it was really, main concept here was this center section where I just kind of played with some angles to give her different views of Main Street and the chapel next door. So that wraps it.
This is nice bright space. Now we have one back here.
Yep, Doug's Flower over there.
Doug's Flower, who was in charge of that one?
Oh, she's not next.
Okay. All right, Landon Building, concept number 3.
So my concept for the Landman building was keeping a lot of the existing walls as much as I could from when it was a 50s office area for, I believe, the town. So I kept a lot of the walls and I continued the hallway down through so it would be a better access to exit for the code. And then I fit in apartments and kept the different angled walls so that each space would be unique, and I reused different materials throughout the different apartments to give different feels. So in all of them, they're pretty much hardwood floors, or I have a concrete floor just to kind of give it more of a modern feel. Some corrugated steel panels for the ceiling and different aesthetics between each apartment, and kind of mixing the materials so you can keep reusing them and to give each apartment an individual feel. And all of them are luxury studio apartments, so they would have full kitchens, 1 or 2 bedrooms, and then like a laundry area so they didn't have to go to a local laundromat. And then I kept with, similar to Dom's, I have a exercise area on the top right there, and then I could fit about 7 different luxury apartments in the space and kind of give each one its own unique feel and let people feel more comfortable and at home and updating the whole area.
Very good. The next one over here is Center Street, unique concept. It's called Boxcar Boulevard there on Center Street.
All right, well, as you know, Hornell is growing, and many young professionals are coming to Hornell to work at Alstom's, and I wanted to design an apartment building that would appeal to these people, that would be modern, very light and open, and at the same time connected to Hornell's roots and sustainable. My building was inspired by old railroad boxcars, so it's framed in rusted steel beams that actually preserves the steel from further rusting. And some sustainable features are, there's a green roof, the building recycles rainwater, and there's a geothermal system for heating and cooling. And all the cars park underneath the solar panel roof that would both protect the cars and generate electricity. The finishes are very nice with like marble and wood on the inside and very large windows for great views. There's different sizes of apartments, with a total of 7 apartments, and the sizes range from about 600 square feet to over 1,000 2-bedroom.
Looks great. Totally.
Yes, this is on the Pizza Hut site.
Yeah. Good job. Next one's another variation of the Landman building, looks like. You want to just say your name?
How's it going, everyone? My name is Roberto Trujillo, and this is my design for the Landman building. So we originally spoke to the owner of the building, and what she wanted to do is utilize the upper floors and make them into residential spaces. So I designed it into small studio apartments, and they would all be luxury apartments. So I have about 6 studio apartments up there. In this perspective, as you can see, the studio spaces would be facing on Main Street. These would be a little bit about 600 square feet. And I tried to use natural resources into the design, going for a mid-century look. As you can see on the other side, would be this rendering of the other apartments. Again, highlighting, they would have like a small bedroom, open kitchen space, again, trying to utilize as much space as I can. But my main focus was developing central gathering spaces for the residents that decide to live in the space. I think it's important for people to come in and not only just live in these studio spaces, but try to get along with everyone and try to develop this communication within the residents. So I decided to develop like a small gathering coffee lounge space, which would be in the main corner of the building. I feel like this space of the building has the best view till her now. During the winter, I know you guys put up a Christmas tree, so that could be utilized as well. People have the ability to gather around and really utilize the space freely. And during the summer, I decided developing a green space. By the hallway perspective, not only does this allow people to come into the space, have like the outdoor space within their apartments, but it also sheds light within the studio apartments. I also provided a gym space that was required for the residents for the owner.
Very good. Max, you got a concept down there on the Center Street lot for Pizza Hut.
All right, I'm Max Wilkins. So I have the Pizza Hut site, and I was able to squeeze 8 apartments onto the site in a residential complex that features 2 handicap accessible units and 6 non-handicap accessible units. The 6 non-handicap accessible units feature a loft space for the sleeping area with a large light monitor to let in natural light, and that space is adjacent to the main living space in the handicap accessible units. So every tenant would have the same features. There's a fireplace inside that kind of comes up to the roof, creating a nice architectural feature from far away. And my idea was to create kind of like an upscale apartment building that would hopefully spread influence around the neighborhood and kind of bring the tide up for all boats, as you could say. That's the idea. So.
Very good. And the last one is another concept for Doug.
Hey, my name is Ricardo Mirage. So my concept for Doug's Flower Shop was to allow, well, my idea was we went to Doug's Flower Shop and we kind of explored it and like saw what it was about and like the space. And when we was in there, I kind of realized there wasn't a lot of natural light in the retail area. So I kind of wanted to make that like my concept to the design was to add a lot of natural light to the area, to the retail area. So in that perspective, down there you can actually see like how much natural light I'm trying to add. Besides that, the program kind of was really, not really strict, but it kind of was straightforward of what she wanted. And she wanted to keep like a rustic country theme going. And I kind of kept this green and white like wood style around this flower shop. And that's basically my idea.
Good, great job. Now this is, for those that don't know, this is Rex Hinton's architecture class from Alfred State College. They've been working with us in Hornell for a number of years. We've stole some of their ideas. The price is right because these kids come down here and they do these as projects. And Rex, some of Rex graduates, I know 2 graduates from Hornell that were in Rex's class. One works for LaBella's now, the other one works for Hunt Engineers, both as architects. So these kids are very talented, they have a great teacher in Rex and at Alfred State, and it's a credit to our region, it's a credit to the faculty there, the kind of product they're putting out. Now, Max is a local Hornell guy, he's in the Max Wilkins, and he's a local project, but we've met some great students over the years, and they've gone on to do great things. And you can see here what kind of talent they have and what kind of vision they have. So Rex, kudos to you and your class.